Welcome back to Cooking with Kayla D. I'm Kayla D, and this is my husband Randy. Today we'll be making linguine Alfredo. For the ingredients, you're going to need pasta of your choice, protein of your choice, heavy whipping cream, garlic, olive oil or avocado oil, butter, grated Parmesan cheese, salt and pepper to taste. For optional ingredients, red chili flake for heat, veggie of your choice. We use spinach, asparagus, and broccoli because that's what we had on hand. Here is a photo of the ingredients we used so you can see the gluten-free pasta that we chose for this dish. I first started off by boiling the broccoli to get it halfway cooked. Next, in a skillet over medium heat, I did the olive oil, a tablespoon of garlic, and a tablespoon of butter, and I got that melted down. Then I added in my asparagus and I sauteed that for 3 to 4 minutes. And I also added a little salt and pepper for taste. Your asparagus should be pretty tender at this time and have a little bit of blistering on it, so you can go ahead and pull that off the heat and set that aside. In that same skillet, I just added that steamed broccoli to it just to run it through that garlic and butter to give it a little flavor. Next, I want to get a large stock pot on, and I want to put some salt in there and get that rapidly boiling for our pasta. I chose to use linguine. I chose Thai linguine. It is gluten-free, and that's why I chose that pasta. But you choose whatever pasta is good for you and your family. And you're going to want to cook that pasta to the package directions that your pasta came in. I used gluten-free, so I rinsed my noodles with cold water and set them aside. Next, in a skillet, I'm going to add a tablespoon of olive oil, and I'm going to go ahead and cook my protein. We chose shrimp for our protein today. I just lightly seasoned it with a little pinch of salt and pepper. You'll only want to cook it for 1.5 to 2 minutes. As you see it to lightly turn pink around the tails, you want to flip your shrimp at this point. They should still be open and not closed. And the same on the other side, just cooking it another minute or two and then removing it. You don't want the tails touching the tip of the shrimp. You want there to still be a gap, so it's like the letter C as in cat. And the reason you want to see is because you don't want to eat rubber, you want to eat a very tender piece of shrimp. Next, I'm making the Alfredo sauce, and we're putting some spinach in ours. So we'll do a tablespoon of olive oil, a tablespoon of butter, a tablespoon of garlic. We'll get the garlic sauteing. Once I can smell it and it's fragrant, then I'll go ahead and add in my spinach. If you're not doing spinach in your sauce, then obviously don't put it in right now. Instead, you'll go straight to the heavy whipping cream. But for those of you doing the spinach, then you would put that in right now. We're using fresh spinach, and I'm going to go ahead and saute that in the garlic butter and just let that kind of wilt down. Add a little salt and pepper for taste. This generally only takes a minute or two. Spinach does wilt down quickly. Then I'll add in our heavy whipping cream, the measurements to your size of the family. You'll heat that up slowly over medium heat. Once it starts to get a little bubbly here or there, that's when you'll add in your Parmesan cheese. You do not need to make a roux for this. Put your salt and pepper in for taste. Stir it around, and then you want to just cook this over medium-low heat until it reduces and thickens on its own. You do not need the additional carbs in this recipe. It is a very simple Alfredo recipe, and as you can see, it's thickened. It's only taken about 5 minutes for it to thicken. Plus, once you add your pasta in there, it's just going to start sucking that sauce right up into that pasta. And I'll go ahead and put my linguine noodles right into our Alfredo sauce. You do not need Italian seasonings or anything for this. Traditional Alfredo sauce does not have Italian seasonings in it. It literally is the simplicity of this recipe. It is an authentic Italian recipe. But doesn't that look delicious? See how it's just melting right into it. If everyone in your family is eating it the same, then you would go ahead and mix in your protein and your vegetables all in it. Right now, my husband and I do different vegetables. So he prefers broccoli, I prefer asparagus, and that's what we had on hand. So I will be plating up the noodles and the spinach separately, and then I will top his with the broccoli and mine with asparagus, and then we'll put the shrimps on top. Because we're making this video for you, and we're going to try to make it as pretty as we can. And we have a little bit more sauce than what most people like, because we like a lot of sauce. So, but I'll put broccoli on my husband's plate because that's the vegetable he chooses. I put that asparagus we cooked on top of mine. You see how we're getting extra vegetables by adding the spinach in there? My husband can't stand spinach, and he eats it because you can't taste it when you're making Alfredo. That's like the greatest thing about it. So now you go ahead and place your protein on top of your veggies. We are doing it this way just for presentation reasons. Normally, I would actually mix my vegetables and proteins all into one pot and serve it that way. But for presentation purposes, I went ahead and done it separate like that so you can see it and it kind of looks pretty. Makes you feel like you're having a date night or something with your family. And there you go, shrimp linguine Alfredo. From our kitchen to your kitchen, we bid you adieu. From Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, may God bless you and keep you. And we hope to see you all again here soon on our channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell and share your hearts away. My disclaimer.
Romans 15:4. For whatever things were written before were written for our learning, that we through the patience and comfort of the Scriptures might have hope.